I hope that everyone is doing okay. Allow me to welcome each and every one of you to the SALCC's AI debate competition, which this week forms part of the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council's calendar of activities in observance of Productivity Awareness Week. This year, it is being observed under the theme, The AI Effect, using innovation to reshape productivity and enhance competitiveness. My name is Shedi Gustav, and I will be your mistress of ceremony for this morning's proceedings. I would now like to invite you all to please stand as I invite a student from South Louis, Ms. Tivinia Jabatis, to lead us in the opening prayer.
Catholics, please acknowledge your faith. Dear Lord, we come before you today with gratitude for the opportunity to engage in this debate. We thank you for the minds and hearts gathered here, for the chance to express our thoughts and to listen to others with respect and understanding. Grant us wisdom, clarity of speech, and the ability to present our arguments with grace and humility. May we remain open to learning from one another, even in disagreement, and seek to find a common ground where possible. Help us to conduct this debate in a spirit of respect, fairness, always remembering that the ultimate goal is the pursuit of truth and understanding. Bless our efforts today and guide our words. In your name we pray. Amen.
You may now be seated. Before proceeding, I would just like to ask that we place our phones on either silent or vibrate, just so that this morning's proceedings are not interrupted. At this moment, I would like to firstly acknowledge the presence of Dr. Marjorie Jameson Charles, the principal of the South Louis Community College, the director of the SALCC board as well, Chairman Springer, our vice principal academics, Dr. Winston Fulgence, Mrs. Fiona Hinkson, the budget director, Mrs. Lisa Flora Montoute, the director of the NCPC, Mrs. Natalie Jolie Fanas, the coordinator for this debating competition, Ms. Nicole Jacques, Deputy Director of Finance Administration, Ms. Jennifer Raphael from the Ministry of Education, Mr. Nicholas Bernard, the Chairman of the NCPC Board and the Board of the NCPC, Board members of the NCPC, Mrs. Sherilyn Monrose Gustav, the Project Coordinator for the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project, our quietest team judges, Mr. Umar Kombi, Miss Myra Delise, and Mr. Kem Emmanuel. In addition, I would also like to recognize any representatives from the Bankers Association, representatives from the Manufacturers Association, the Chamber of Commerce, members of the Productivity Awareness Week Planning Committee, staff of the NCPC, staff of the CRDP, staff of our various government departments, debaters, students of the South Louis Community College, as well as other secondary schools, the media, and all our invited guests. Thank you for showing your dedication, firstly to our nation's youth, as well as your expression of your support for this week's activities. I would like to take this opportunity to invite the Director of the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, Mrs. Lisa Flora Montoute, to deliver some welcome remarks. Can we welcome her as she comes on?
Good afternoon, students, lecturers, and other specially invited guests. I wish to extend a warm welcome to this exciting schools debate competition. Welcome, everybody. In the NCPC's quest to encourage persons to act in the interest of higher productivity, it is essential that we invite the youth or involve the youth in activities such as this. So raising a younger generation of productive citizens will help to build a more competitive St. Lucia tomorrow. Therefore, exposing our students to the endless possibilities presented through the use of AI, we are indeed encouraging them to inculcate productive practices into their daily routines while learning. We therefore encourage this healthy debate, which exposes you to learn more about AI techniques and tools while enhancing your knowledge on productivity. I therefore wish you a successful and exciting debate, and please remember, we are all winners, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Montoute. At this point, I'd like to invite our principal, Dr. Marjorie Jameson Charles, to deliver some remarks before we begin. So can we welcome her as well as she comes on?
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, let me acknowledge the chairman of the board, Mr. Peter Springer, our VP Academics, Dr. Phil Jens, our debaters, specially invited guests, students from Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, and also other students from the various secondary schools. And I want to first start by having a disclaimer by saying it's not SALCC, but it's SALCC. Okay, so always remember that. All right, I heard it in the advertisements about SALCC, and I said no, it is SALCC and not SALCC. Welcome everyone again as we begin today's debate. Whether we are looking at AI as optimizing productivity and competitiveness, or is it a potential risk to progress? This is a very interesting topic, and I know that the students will do well. They will interrogate the topic and do what they need to do to ensure that we have a very thought-provoking debate. We must also remember that it is not just an exercise in argumentation, but an opportunity for us to learn and to grow and to engage in thoughtful dialogue about AI, the importance of AI in nation development, as we say, productivity and competitiveness, or whether we should disregard it altogether. So, as you go, students, as you debate, we must remember respect for your opponents, clarity in communication, and also I want to see the commitment to evidence-based reasoning. This is very, very important as debaters, and I know our debaters know that because they have been doing it for a while and they are pros. I wanted to leave the two teams, you leave with a lasting impression on our younger ones who are here, I am sure going to come to Sir Arthur Lewis Community College in the near future, and I'm hoping that you become part of the debating team. And let us maintain as students the spirit of curiosity and respect as we challenge ideas and not individuals. All the best, and as we all said, you are all winners, so let us have a great debate. I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Charles, firstly for your remarks, but also along with our chairman of the board and VP for always showing your support in the various endeavors taken by students, so thank you. All right, so at this particular moment, I have the pleasure of introducing our three judges. So I'm going to start from your left, going to the right, I believe. Mr. Omar Kombi. Mr. Omar Kombi is a digital media professional with over 7 years of experience in graphic design. His work spans roles such as junior copywriter at 123 Digital Limited, design editor for the Wichita newspaper, and most recently, marketing assistant and a part-time lecturer at the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. During his time as a student at SALCC, Omar was an active member of the Debate Society, representing St. Lucia twice at the Windward Island Debating Competition, also known as WIDC. As an alumnus, he continues to support the college's debate culture, having served as either judge and moderator for several of our debates. He holds a bachelor's degree in mass communication and a certificate in project management. In his professional and creative work, Omar integrates AI tools like ChatGPT and Grammarly to enhance his creativity and efficiency. Everybody, Mr. Omar Kombi. Our second judge, Myra Dillis. Myra Dillis serves as an economist in the Research and Policy Unit of the Department of Finance. In St. Lucia, here in St. Lucia, she holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Management and Economics. Myra is dedicated to providing analytical support and policy recommendations that enhance St. Lucia's fiscal and economic strategies. Her role involves conducting macroeconomic research, interpreting data, and formulating evidence-based policies that contribute to national economic development and competitiveness. Throughout her career, Myra has worked on several key projects aimed at improving the effectiveness of public finance management and fostering sustainable growth here in St. Lucia. Her contributions to policy development are essential in shaping government decisions related to international trade, inflation, budgetary measures, energy policy, and pricing, in addition to taxation and overall economic planning. People, this is a very important person, eh? She is also committed to enhancing productivity and competitiveness through innovative research and data-driven solutions. Known for analytical skills and attention to detail, Myra plays a critical role in ensuring that the Department of Finance stays ahead in addressing the nation's economic challenges, while also helping to formulate strategic initiatives that foster long-term economic resilience. Everybody, Myra Dillis. And finally, Kem Emmanuel. Kem Emmanuel is an educator and a data scientist with a wealth of expertise in her field. With an MSc in data science and a foundation in computer science and mathematics, Kem's academic journey reflects her passion for technology and analytical thinking. Currently, serving as a lecturer at Sir Arthur Lewis, she specializes in teaching various technical subjects including programming, data management, and information security. Kem's research contributions, highlighted by her publication in the IEEE International Conference on Technology, Management, Operations, and Decisions, combined with her diverse skill set spanning multiple programming languages and statistical methodologies, establish her as an invaluable asset in both education and in the field of data science. Beyond her teaching abilities, Kem has actively contributed to the field of AI through training sessions and with college lecturers and various research projects. Her work includes a published study on predictive analytics in education, underscoring her commitment to harnessing AI to enhance learning and drive technological development. Everybody, Ms. Kem Emmanuel. Now, before moving on to the debate, I will also have the honor of introducing our esteemed moderator, Ms. Shine Savory. Ms. Shine Savory is a Year 2 student in the Creative and Performing Arts program at the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, serving as the president of the college's Debate Society and the public relations officer of our Students' Council. She has had previous experience as the PRO and the president of the St. Joseph's Convent Effective Speaking Club, where she has participated in both national and regional public speaking competitions. She has also served as the 2020 Youth Minister for Arts, Culture, and Creative Industries, as well as the 2021 Youth Ambassador for St. Lucia. Everybody, Ms. Shine Savory.
Right.
Thank you so much, Ms. Gustav, for that introduction. I'd like to adopt the protocol already established, and let me say a good morning to all of you, judges, audience, everybody who is watching, both here and online. So, here we are at the first debate that Sir Arthur will be having for this academic year, and it goes for the moot: artificial intelligence is essential to boosting productivity and competitiveness in the modern economy. All right, so I would first like to go through the procedures of the debate so we understand what the rules are. This is a structured debate. So we will be having the leader of the proposition first make the contribution for 7 minutes, followed by the leader of the opposition for 7 minutes. Then, immediately after, we'll have the seconder of the proposition for 5 minutes and the seconder of the opposition for 5 minutes. At that point, we will have a 5-minute break where our debaters will have a chance to think about what the other side has said, to formulate their rebuttals. Then they will be timed for 3 minutes to give an on-the-spot, that is a spontaneous rebuttal, for no more than 3 minutes. We have our timekeeper present, so she will be indicating to the debaters when they have 1 minute and when their time is up, and will also be timing how long they take in their speeches. They have no more than 10 seconds to vacate the podium after they have been given the time up signal. After which, we will be having an open discussion while the adjudicators are deliberating. So it should take about 10 to 15 minutes, and that's when we'll invite all of you in the audience to give your views on the topic. And then after that, the part that we're all excited for, then the results. Right, so first of all, I would like to say that this is the first time debating for 3 of our 4 debaters who are on stage. So I hope that you give them a hearty round of applause after their contributions to encourage them. I will start by introducing the leader of the proposition, Ms. Cunica Florenville. Could you please stand? Right. Thank you. Second year student in digital media, animation, and design. Our seconder for the proposition is CAPE student, Ms. Phoebe Popo. Right? She says that she loves God and that she is an aspiring pharmaceutical scientist. Next, our leader of the opposition, a second-year CAPE student, Mr. Darren Leslie. And the seconder for the opposition, a second-year CAPE student, Miss Amelia Charlemagne. All right, we are about to begin. We will start with the proposition. First of all, let me remind you once again, the moot: artificial intelligence is essential to boosting productivity and competitiveness in the modern economy. To begin the debate, I welcome leader of the proposition, Ms. Cunica Florenville.
Judges, Madam Moderator, audience, and spectators, I wish you a good afternoon. Those who harness its power will lead, those who don't will fall behind. Artificial intelligence is transforming the way we work by streamlining tasks, enhancing decision-making, and driving innovation in a rapidly evolving economy. I'm sure this is apparent since AI is being implemented in mostly every working situation, and an understanding of its usage is necessary. Although some tools may seem complicated at first, learning to use them will help in the long run. An inability to perform is not the fault of a weapon, but the person who wields it. To start, as the proposition, in support of the moot, artificial intelligence is essential to boosting productivity and competitiveness in the modern economy, I will define the relevant terms. Artificial intelligence, modern economy, essential, competitiveness, and productivity. Then I will illustrate how stress levels negatively impact productivity, and how artificial intelligence combats that. I'm certain that we all have been stressed by an overwhelming amount of work that never seems to lessen. AI is the solution. For my third point, I will expand on artificial intelligence's capability to improve efficiency in work settings. Lastly, I will delve into how AI improves decision-making and the way decision-making plays a role in productivity levels. Let's explore the different ways AI can boost productivity. Artificial intelligence, also known as AI, is a term coined by John McCarthy in 1955. According to TechTarget, artificial intelligence is a simulation of human intelligence processes by machines. AI has been utilized in the modern economy as an attempt to keep up with our rapidly changing world. It is revolutionizing the economy by making tourism more engaging and opening new opportunities for young people. This is a point that my seconder will expand on. What is a modern economy? As defined by Merriam-Webster, modern is the involvement of recent techniques, methods, or ideas. Merriam-Webster also states that an economy is a system especially of interaction and exchange, including structure or conditions of economic life in a country, area, or period. With this context, we can define a modern economy as a system of exchange and structure with the newest ideas and developments. These developments have led us to live a fast-paced life. With so many new ideas, we need to put focus on what is essential. To know whether or not AI is essential, we need to define what an essential thing is. According to Collins Dictionary, something essential is extremely important or necessary to a situation. Being competitive is sometimes seen as negative, but this isn't always the case. Competitiveness is the want to win or be more successful and being able to compete successfully with other organizations, as defined by Cambridge Dictionary. Competitiveness helps to strive for higher performances and improvements. Improvements on productivity can also always be made. Productivity is struggled with on an individual and group level. There's a high focus on productivity because of its importance. Without productivity, nothing would get done. According to Cambridge Dictionary, productivity is the rate at which a company or country makes goods and services, in relation to the number of people and the amount of materials necessary to produce those goods or services. Now that I have defined these terms, I will delve into our first point. One of our biggest issues in life, stress. In today's fast-paced world, we often find ourselves struggling to keep up with the demands of our daily lives. Fast-paced work environments can be demanding with long hours, tight deadlines, and high expectations. This is stated by V-Care Cancer Center. This leads to stress, which has many negative effects, not only on mental, but physical health and also productivity. Due to everything being so fast-paced, we are forced to take in more information, which is draining and further increases stress levels. PubMed Central conducted a survey to find out the association between stress levels and productivity among 186 workers. Higher stress scores were associated significantly with lower productivity scores. According to Dr. Khalid Al, a study by the American Psychological Association found that 64% of adults surveyed reported that work was a significant source of stress. Dr. Khalid also mentions that AI technology is making it possible to manage work-related stress more effectively. Repetitive, time-consuming tasks in the workplace can easily be done by AI. Artificial intelligence would help with managing workload and workplace dynamics. With these advantages in mind, I will discuss AI's involvement with efficiency. Efficiency is the core of productivity, as productivity is based on the rate of work. As shown by Aya AI, AI is revolutionizing operational efficiency across industries, offering smarter ways to handle tasks and improve overall performance. This is done by showing data-driven insights. AI's ability to continually learn and improve based on new data, and optimizing resource allocation in an efficient manner. All of this cuts down on time, and as we know, time is money. According to Kathy Gerchek, when AI was used in conjunction with automation, desk workers reported an overall productivity increase of 80%, according to the global survey by Workforce Lab from SALCC, a Salesforce company. Kathy Gerchek states, AI's top value, they said, was helping with writing, automating workflow, and summarizing content. As I mentioned earlier, we are bombarded with information. AI's ability to summarize is an amazing tool that is definitely helpful with time efficiency. Having highlighted the significance of a role AI plays in efficiency, we must explore its role in decision-making. Decision-making plays an important role in productivity levels. According to Expert Choice blog, decision-making is undoubtedly the most difficult and essential task a manager performs. Effective decision-making makes it possible for organizations to succeed. Conversely, ineffective decision-making is at least suboptimal and quite possibly a complete loss of productivity. Decision-making can be affected by stress, time, and many other factors. Expert Choice blog also mentions how decision-making may be difficult because of cognitive limitations, overconfidence, and inconsistency. As outlined by Harvard Business Review, poor decision-making is estimated to cost firms on average at least 3% of profits. AI-powered technologies help close the data insight gap and improve their decision-making capabilities in time-critical, high-pressure situations. In our modern economy that is very fast-paced, saving time is very important. Okay, thanks. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you very much. That was leader of the proposition. All right, so in this debate, we have leader and seconder are graded on the same scale. I believe that is out of 100 points, and the rebuttal will be done by either one of the debaters according to their choice, and that will be graded out of 60 points. There are 5 main categories that they're being graded on, and the 2 largest ones are soundness of points and logical development. So when we talk about soundness of points, did they define the motion? Are they clear in their thesis? Are their points accurate? How strong are the arguments? How well were they able to convince you? Are the points relevant? Are they on target for the argument? And what evidence did they use, such as authority, analogies, statistics? How did they prove their points? And that will be graded out of 35 points. Let's just give our judges some time to go over the scores. And reminder that our leaders have 7 minutes to make their point, and that they have a grace period of 10 seconds before they leave the lectern. Right? Any more? Right, in the meantime, let's go over logical development. So that will be out of 20 points. That is the second heaviest category. They need to have good organization. Needs to be outlined in the introduction what their key points were, a clear explanation of each point, and they must have a clear conclusion on their overall argument. So they must say very clearly to the audience what they want you to walk away with from their presentation. And that, again, is out of 20 points. So just those 2 alone, soundness of points, logical development, that is already almost half of the score. All right, let's give the judges some more time. Yes. So Kunika spoke for 7 minutes, so within the time period. And if a debater goes on, then I will have to get them, well, not get them off the lectern. I'm not going to push them off and say, okay, your time's up. I will gently indicate that the time has passed. That's what we're going to do. I'm not going to, it's not a debate. I'm not going to turn their mic off. Very nice. All right, then. Are we ready? All right. So at this time, let us welcome the leader of the opposition, Mr. Darren Leslie.
Madam Moderator, honorable judges, esteemed guests, my worthy opponents, and my esteemed audience, I bid you a pleasant afternoon. While it is undeniable that artificial intelligence is transforming industries and creating new possibilities, we stand firmly in opposition to the motion that artificial intelligence is essential to boosting productivity and competitiveness in the modern economy. Once my colleague and I have presented our irrefutable arguments, I have no doubt that each and every one of you here today will agree with us. I will support this claim by focusing on 3 main points. 1, the cost to purchase and maintain AI is not economical and suitable for small island developing states. 2, AI will become a hindrance to competitiveness and productivity due to overdependence. And 3, AI leads to job displacement in the modern economy. Madam Moderator, honorable judges, allow me to provide some clarification to the moot at hand. The Oxford English Dictionary defines artificial intelligence as the theory and development of computer systems able to perform tasks normally requiring human intelligence. Essential is defined as absolutely necessary, extremely important. Productivity is a measure of performance that compares the output of a product with the input or resources required to produce it. Competitiveness is the ability and performance of a firm, subsector, or country to sell and supply goods and services in a given market in order to dominate the share of the market in relation to other firms, subsectors, and countries. And the modern economy is a present-day system according to which money, industry, and trade of a country or region are organized. Madam Moderator, we the opposition believe that in a small island developing state such as St. Lucia, our economy will be just as productive and competitive without the use of AI. In fact, in Caribbean islands as a whole, whose economy is dependent mainly on agriculture and tourism, AI is not essential to the productivity or competitiveness of these states. Small island developing states are simply not in a financial position to afford to purchase and maintain AI that will have a significant impact on productivity in these main industries. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. AI is not essential to the productivity or competitiveness of these states. Small island developing states are simply not in a financial position to afford to purchase and maintain AI that will have a significant impact on productivity in these main industries. AI that will make a significant difference in the economy of these countries is far too expensive for these countries to afford. According to Tableau.com, one estimate says that the cost for a fully implemented AI solution for most businesses ranges from 20,000 USD to well in the millions. We, the opposition, do not believe that industries such as agriculture and tourism cannot benefit from AI, but it is definitely not necessary to the development of our economy as a whole. Think about it. Crops such as bananas, sugarcane, coffee, cocoa, and nutmeg, which brings a handsome revenue to us here in the Eastern Caribbean, is not dependent on artificial intelligence in order to grow in economic competitiveness. Instead, it is dependent on the innovation and drive of us as a people. Look at CMOS farming in St. Lucia, for example, or the growing apicultural industry. Our economies have not made it this far with any our economies have not made it this far with any considerable levels of AI, and they are not dependent on AI to grow now. Which brings me to the next point, Madam Moderator. Rather than AI being essential and imperative for boosting productivity and competitiveness in the modern economy, it will become a hindrance due to overdependence. This will lead to a lack of innovation and creativity in the economy. Artificial intelligence will lead to the workforce becoming overdependent on AI, which, as my colleague will speak about, will lead to a loss of skill. The overdependence on AI will lead to a lack of innovation and creativity in the job market. AI does not possess the ability to think outside the box as humans do, and the idea that AI is expected to become more intelligent than humans in the future is speculative and not universally accepted. Tableau.com referenced a scientific paper positing that at the present stage of AI development, it can be programmed to create novel ideas, but not original ones. If a country is looking for new or creative solutions to a problem, human beings will be better able to solve these problems. Automating tasks and utilizing more digital assets can lead to an increased potential for human laziness, which can cause us to use our brains less, to memorize, strategize, and solve our issues. This can have a detrimental effect on future generations, as the art of critical thinking is crucial to the evolution of the economy as a whole. With the use of AI increasing in infrastructures, job displacement occurs. Studies indicate that automation displaces workers in various sectors like manufacturing, leading to potential unemployment. According to a 2020 World Economic Forum report, automation and AI could displace 85 million jobs by 2025, while creating 97 million new roles. However, these new roles may require different skills, leading to prolonged unemployment for displaced workers. This will lead to displaced workers needing help finding new employment. Job displacement due to AI can create a lag between productivity gains and actual improvements in economic competitiveness. If a significant portion of the workforce cannot adapt to new roles, businesses face labor shortages in key areas, while a large group remains unemployed. This disconnect can slow economic growth and reduce a country's ability to stay competitive in global markets. Madam Moderator, honorable judges, after clearly stating my stance pertaining to the moot, AI is a hindrance to the economy due to overdependence. AI leads to job displacement, and small developing states are not financially equipped to afford a level of AI that is beneficial in the modern economy. I am sure you agree that AI is not absolutely necessary in boosting productivity and competitiveness in the modern economy. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Leslie. That was the leader of the opposition. What was his timekeeper? He had 6 seconds left. 36 seconds remaining. All right, so within the time limit. All right, so I've spoken about how half of the points are for soundness of points and logical development, and the other half are more about style. So that's actually my favorite part of debate. They will be judged on audibility and clarity. Did they project their voice? Did they modulate their tone? Was it monotonous? How did they enunciate? Could we hear every word and every sound that they were saying? They'll also be judged on posture and personality. Were they confident? Did they use gestures? Did they make eye contact with the audience? Did they physically connect with you? And lastly, command of material. Did they speak at a comfortable pace? Were they too fast? Were they too slow? Smooth flow, minimal use of notes. And did they effectively articulate their points? So at the end of the day, the purpose of this debate is for our debaters on stage to have an idea that they want to communicate with you. And hopefully you will go home with some more ideas on both sides about AI and productivity. So altogether, that is once again for 100 points for both the leader and the seconder. And all throughout these speeches, our either person on the side who will decide to do the rebuttal. They're taking their notes. It's not a prepared presentation. They have ideas on what they would like to rebut, what they think the opposition or the proposition will say. But debating is very much about listening to the other side and being on the ball. So they'll be ready to present their rebuttals. All right, judges, do you need more time? Are we good? All right, so with 5 minutes to present, I would like to welcome the seconder of the proposition, Miss Phoebe Popo.
Thank you for your warm welcome, everyone. Imagine you had an assistant who could do all your tedious tasks instantly, anticipate your needs, and make your day seamless. That right there is the magic of artificial intelligence. It's increasing efficiency and aiding, allowing us to achieve more with less effort, thus focusing on what truly matters. In my presentation, I will be focusing on one point: AI increases efficiency. Madam Moderator, my colleague tempered the fears about stress in AI and in modern society and how it improves decision-making in relation to AI. Now I think it's only right to speak about AI and its efficiency. We will look at AI and its impact on tourism, young people of St. Lucia, its benefits for the classroom, and its impact on crops. AI intelligence is currently present in almost every area of travel and tourism, appearing in different types of applications such as personalization and recommender systems, robots, conversational systems, smarter travel agents, prediction and forecasting system. Baffling, isn't it? AI helps users to find better and more relevant information. It gives them greater mobility, improves their decision-making, and ultimately provides a better tourism experience. Gretzel 2011 and Miller 2019. For example, a guest may interact with a robot that integrates a conversational system, and depending on the requirements, a recommender system, a personalization technique, or autonomous agent, the dialogue with the user may be based on a chat box or assistant. Although recent research on AI highlights potential negative aspects ranging from job loss, security issues, and negative development of superintelligence, though these concerns are valid, let us look at the brighter side. AI also presents opportunities for job creations in new fields like data analysis and robotics. AI enhances cybersecurity by detecting threats in real time and improves efficiency by automating repetitive tasks. Furthermore, ethical frameworks for AI development are actively being created to ensure responsible use and to address long-term risks such as superintelligence. AI has significantly impacted St. Lucia's tourism sector by amplifying its global presence through digital platforms and targeted marketing, especially with the rise of notable figures like Julie and Alfred, who has popularized the country on the world stage. Through AI-driven tools, St. Lucia's tourism industry can now leverage data analytics and different tools to tailor promotions, enhance visitor experiences, and create a personalized engagement for personal tourists drawn in by Alfred's achievements. This combination of local talent and AI-powered promotions boosts the country's visibility and appeal in increasing competitive global tourism markets. As Douglas Adams famously said, anything that is invented between when you're 15 and 45 is new and exciting and revolutionary, and you can probably get a career in it. Anything invented after you're 45 is against natural order of things. The next generation are coming of age as the most exciting chapter of AI is written. There is a huge opportunity for organizations to harness the power of this younger generation, to play a guiding role in how this technology is used and develops. Here in the Caribbean, we as students also strive with the use of AI. With deadlines running close, you may need help to conclude an essay, or even help understanding a concept or concluding your debate. AI serves as a tremendous benefit, even to our teachers and lecturers, also benefiting from AI. Charles Darwin states that it is not the strongest species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the ones who Charles Darwin states that it is not the most strongest species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. With AI, it is expected that students can cheat more instead of learning the material. But I ask you, is this anything new? We can take a look at the classroom when the calculator was invented. Teachers still found a way to integrate this into their class. On a lighter note, I'm curious. Do you enjoy eating vegetables and fresh produce? Artificial intelligence is transforming crop production. Using AI-driven tools, farmers can better manage irrigation, predict crop yields, spot pests and diseases early. These technologies help increase productivity, lower costs, and improve resource management. Johan Rockstrom, a sustainability expert, states that the future of food security and agriculture will be shaped by our ability to integrate technology and data into farming practices. And AI will be the engine that powers this transformation. Moderator, judges, in my presentation, I have offered you the benefits of AI and how it is remarkably essential. The risks, though present, are not beyond the realm of mitigation. Do I still have 10 seconds? In this bittersweet moment I have left with you, I compel you to realize one thing. The integration of artificial intelligence into various sectors is not just a technological advance. Let us embrace this opportunity to not only, thank you.
Thank you very much as well, Ms. Popo. Thank you. All right, so that was the seconder of the proposition, Ms. Phoebe Popo. Now, this debate is being held in conjunction with a whole other calendar of activities taking place. And as you can see, we are here for National Competitiveness and Productivity Council's Productivity Awareness Week here in St. Lucia, the 10th year that has been happening, and this debate is just one part of those exciting events. Yesterday we had a launch ceremony. I heard there was a theatrical presentation at that ceremony that was very, very amusing, very funny. I think that the girl who acted in it she was wonderful. No, not me, but she had a British accent. It was a really good presentation. I don't know, but this. Tomorrow, today is Thursday. Tomorrow there will be an AI training for public service secretaries that will be at the ICT Center in Castries. And right here at the Financial Administrative Center tomorrow, there will be an Info Cloud Suite training. So we're having a lot of training on AI for those of us who are working so that we can increase our productivity. Or maybe it doesn't increase our productivity. I don't know, let's listen to what the opposition has to say. So we are looking also to the AI Summit that will be held on Friday right here as well. So Productivity Week is full swing, right? All right, so are our judges ready for the next presenter? All right, we're ready. So for our final prepared speech, let us welcome to the stage Miss Amelia Schalmine, seconder for the opposition.
Madam Moderator, honorable judges, my capable colleague, my worthy opponents, and members of the audience, I bid you good afternoon. I stand here before you today completely unmoved by my opponent's feeble attempt to propose the moot. My colleague and I are resolute that artificial intelligence, also known as AI, is not essential to boosting productivity and competitiveness in modern economy. I will further strengthen our stance by proving the following points. Relying heavily on AI can lead to skill loss. 2, culture and the environment are the first factors affecting our productivity, while AI cyberspace is disconnected from the physical needs that influence productivity. Firstly, AI would create a skill gap, not fill one. A large number of workers may be de-skilled in specific industries, making them less versatile and unable to transition into new roles easily. For example, research on pilots using autopilot systems indicate that over-reliance on AI can diminish manual flying skills and situational awareness. If AI systems replace human roles, critical knowledge that were traditionally passed down will be lost. This can make our workforce less flexible, as employees will no longer possess a wide range of transferable skills, ultimately making economies less competitive. Economies that invest in human capital tend to be more competitive historically, whereas those that neglect their human workforce in favor of AI may lead to a long term of instability when AI systems fail to meet evolving needs. South Korea transformed from a poor, war-torn country in the 1950s to one of the world's most advanced economies. Madam Moderator, how exactly is a country with such little natural resources able to become one of the most advanced economies? This is a testament to strategic investment in human capital and long-term economic. This clearly shows that AI is not essential to boosting competitiveness in modern economy. Secondly, cultural norms, workplace atmosphere, and physical surroundings like workspace designs, noise levels, and availability of resources can significantly shape how individuals perform and interact. For example, Madam Moderator, how would anyone be able to go to work and be productive if St. Lucia has a culture of late night partying? And I know everyone here has experienced going to a show that started way past the time it was advertised. How can the economy be productive when the workforce cannot come to work because they are suffering from a lack of sleep and hangovers? If AI is so essential to boosting productivity, then it must address the underlying issues of sleep deprivation and hangovers that affects employees' performances. After all, the quality of the AI's output is only as good as the input it receives. In other words, garbage in, garbage out. Moderator, judges, as I conclude, it is clear that the proposition's case does not hold up under scrutiny. While AI offers advantages, we have demonstrated that it is far from being essential to boosting productivity and competitiveness. In sum, AI is a tool, not a necessity. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Shalmine. How much time did she use? She used 4 out of the 5 minutes. All right, so that was within the time. All right, thank you very much. And that concludes, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, that concludes, ladies and gentlemen, our prepared presentations for this debate. So let's just give the judges some time to go over what they've just heard. And after that, we will be having the rebuttal. So the rebuttal will be 5 minutes to prepare, 3 minutes to present. They will be judged on 5 criteria. First of all, team coordination, clear presentation of different points, as well as demonstration of original use of duplicated points. So basically, are they saying things that they said in both of their presentations? Were they listening to each other's presentations? Were they working together? General analysis of the debate illustrate breadth and depth of knowledge. So making sure that you were actually researching this topic in depth, not just
going on Google and looking for the points that you wanted to make, but demonstrating that you actually understand what this topic is from both sides. Clear defense of team's position as better than the opposing team. So making sure that you target on those points using those notes that they were collecting very diligently during the debate to make sure that they target things that they see as inaccurate or ways that they think that the point was misrepresented. Ability to recall points, ability to refute points, and they are being judged on spontaneity. So once again, this is not memorized, but this is on the spot. So at this point, I would like to ask that we start the timer for 5 minutes for the presentation of the rebuttals, and I ask that you remain very quiet. Oh, it started already? Okay, it can start from now. All right, so let's start that again. 5 minutes for the preparation of the rebuttal, and I ask that the audience remains quiet so that our debaters have time to deliberate. Thank you. All right, time for deliberation is up. So for rebuttals, we always start with the opposition. So to deliver the rebuttal, I welcome Mr. Darren Leslie of the opposition. Let's give him a round of applause.
Madam Moderator, honorable judges, the proposition proposed that AI will help improve decision making, which will help to improve efficiency in a modern economy. This is far from the truth. We are the creators of AI. So how can AI help us improve decision making? AI's decision making is repetitive, and modern AI lacks the ability to correct mistakes. How can AI help to improve innovation or creativity in the economy when AI is programmed by human beings? The second point that I have to talk about is the opposition also use a lot of statistics from the US and from foreign countries that do not apply to the small island developing states, such as robotics and data analysis is not the main form of such as robotic and data analysis, which is a form of AI in overseas territories, but is not a main form of income for us here in the Caribbean. And the use of it, the opposition also explained that the use of AI in schools helps with education. But the use of AI in schools causes students to become lazy and over-dependent on it, so they can't think for themselves. How many times have we heard of stories of students using ChatGPT and other AI to help them their homework? But when the test finally comes, they don't know how to answer. They're clueless and they have no idea what they're doing because they didn't pay attention in class. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Leader of the Opposition. And now, to present the final part of this debate, we have Ms. Phoebe Popo from the proposition doing her rebuttal. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. They still need some time. I'm sorry. All right, so just briefing you that after our judges have finished doing the deliberation for this, they will be going into a special soundproof room somewhere. I don't know, I think they'll be escorted out so that they have some time to be able to go over all of their points, decide who are the winners and who are the second placers. And then all of us here will be having a fun discussion. So I want to hear your opinions. Whose side are you on? What have you heard that really made you think? Is there anything that you think that you would have presented that you didn't hear up here? Really excited to hear from all of you, from members of staff, from secondary school students, from college students. So really looking forward to that part of it. But for now, let's finish with the last part of what we have to present on stage. Judges need more time? The judges need more time. This is really, really difficult. I really do not envy the judges. There's so much you have to consider. I mean, you're thinking about the points, and then you have to judge, okay, then is this a reputable source? And then you have to look at them and you have to be like, wait, is she looking at me? Wait a second. So it's really a lot of multitasking. Debate is a lot to deal with at once, whether you're watching or whether you are preparing. But trust me, it is so worth it. And hopefully, we will be having some regional debates coming up later this school year. So I don't want to say anything yet, but hopefully we will be debating with students from other islands. Secondary school students, please look out for something. We have something for you that is going to be coming up, hopefully within the next year. So really excited to see all of you in the audience, maybe back here for another debate, participating in the debate. Very excited for that. All right, are we ready? All right, the long and arduous process has been completed. All right, let's welcome up Ms. Phoebe Popo, rebuttal for the proposition.
Good afternoon again, everyone. Earlier, the opposition preached that AI will outsmart humans. This prompt, moderator, is so baffling because do you really think the creation can outsmart the creator? That's like comparing man to God. It's like comparing artwork to the artist. It's like comparing software to the programmer. Keep in mind that the creator has the capacity for consciousness, creativity, and adaptation, whereas no matter how capable it operates within the confines of what was imparted by the creator, AI can only do what we tell it to do. Then, Madam Moderator, the opposition spoke about prolonged unemployment. This provides persons with adequate time to learn and broaden their mind in learning new trades for jobs like robotics and data analysis. They can use this time to adequately look and try to attain a job in the new and upcoming AI. When the opposition also stated about manufacturing disadvantages, you can think, if you worked in a factory, would you want to work with the hardest, most dangerous equipment, with welding and cutting? Your life is at risk. You cannot do that to yourself, Madam Moderator. Moving on. The opposition also spoke about the small islands cannot afford. Need I bring to you Guyana, that is proficient in oil and gold? Will you say that they cannot afford and they have the resources? The opposition also stated that it is too expensive for our small islands, and we haven't made it this far. But what happened to thinking with an open mind and looking forward to the future? Whatever happened to foreseeing the now? The opposition also spoke about students using AI. But I present to you our esteemed judges who are all proficient in AI. Where would they be without it? Not saying it creates their livelihood, but it's a big part of who they are. With their synopsis being rounded around AI. Sorry about that. Okay. So I bring to you one more point before I finish. Clay can be dirt in the wrong hands, but clay can be art in the right hands. That is a quote by Lupita Nyong'o. AI in the right hands can produce extremely beautiful and brilliant effects to the world. But in the wrong hand, it can destroy, it can create war, weapons, and everything bad. Thank you, and let's look at these points. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Ms. Popo. And that concludes the prepared presentations and the rebuttals from the debate today. All right. So thank you so much to our debaters. It was a very tough process for all of them, as debate so often is. Thank you to our judges for listening, for deliberating, and thank you to all of you for being such a lovely audience. Thank you so much. All right, so our judges are just going to be wrapping up with judging Ms. Popo's presentation, and then I don't know who's going to come in, and we'll have to escort them to that secret room. We need security. We need to make sure that the results are on lock. Do you understand? All right, this is a very fair, very judicial process. This is very serious. Debate is very serious. But now we have the fun part of it, at least when they leave. And we're going to be having a bit of a discussion on the topic as a whole. So I want to hear from all of you. First of all, we're going to hear from our debaters. They're going to tell us what was the process like, just in case any of you are interested in going into the debate. How do they start off with planning a debate? What do they do? What do they have to research? How do they interact with each other? Was it easy? Was it difficult? All of those questions. And then afterwards, we will get into actually assessing the topic. What is your opinion on AI? Does it increase productivity? Is it the end of the world? Is it the greatest thing to ever happen? What was the last assignment you submitted and you just took everything from ChatGPT and pasted it? We can be honest, this is a safe space. This is a safe space. You know, NTN is there, but it's all right. You can say so. You can be honest. All right then, so our judges are now leaving the room. So let's give our judges a round of applause. Thank you so much. All right then, so I would like to start first of all First of all, I would like a mic in the audience. Is that possible? Yes? All right. So audience members, you can just come up to the mic and you can ask the debaters any questions that you have, first of all, about the process, if anything. And debaters, you can just come up on stage to this mic to answer. All right? So anyone want to be brave and lead off with any questions? Ethan Glasgow, of course. All right. Thank you, Ethan.
Okay, thank you so much, Shine. Well, first of all, my name is Ethan Glasgow. I am a CAPE Year 1 student, and I actually have a question for the opposition. My question is there any evidence of AI destroying an economy right now, or is it too soon to tell? I don't have the answer.
Okay, Ethan, thank you for the question. But right now, it's too soon to tell if AI has ever destroyed an economy because it's just becoming so popular right now. So, no, there's no evidence of AI ever destroying an economy. It's too soon right now to tell.
Okay. Can I ask another question for the proposition, or I can? Okay. So, my question for the proposition is, where do you think St. Lucians in general, could implement AI next?
Thank you, Ethan, for that wonderful question. I believe that St. Lucians or St. Lucia, we can implement AI in, I would love to say, give me 1 minute to think about this. I want to give you a proper answer. I would say we can implement it a lot more in elderly homes, I believe, to integrate them and to help them more, especially those who are immobile and vegetables. You know, you can help them with different activities, different computer stuff, not to engage them in computer stuff, but create machinery to help them. And also, I think it's important to know that the government is already using AI with a lot of their workshops to introduce their employees to know how to be well equipped to handle AI in the future, because it is our future. So that is, did I answer your question?
Yes, you did answer my question. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for answering my questions, opposition and preposition. All right, take care.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ethan. Of course, Ethan always has the questions. It's like, you better, when you debate, you need to know what you're talking about, because Ethan will listen to everything you're saying, and he'll ask you PhD level questions, and then everybody's there sitting there trying to think of an answer, like, oh boy. So, again, this is why this is one of my favorite parts of the debate. Love having the audience come in with angles that we'd never even thought of. So thank you so much. All right. First of all, I would just like to ask any of our debaters to just come up and just give a nice little description, especially for those of you, it was your first time debating here today. How was that process? And most of all, have you learned anything about yourself from this debate? Were there any challenges that you encountered? So just come up and just give a quick rundown of your experience, either one. All right, Kunika, all right, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, again. My process for this debate was a bit stressful because of the short time notice, but I encouraged myself to do this because I have a huge fear of public speaking, and I thought it would help me put myself out there. Other than that, doing research, even under stressful conditions, was fun, just to help myself learn more about AI, especially since it's being implemented in our society today. And it was very interesting, as I am an artist, and a lot of artists are somewhat against AI, worrying that it will take over art. So it was a very interesting process. Thank you.
I found the debate a very good experience. With the short notice that we had, it was really, really stressful to find points that were strong but still fit the mood. But in all, it was a very good experience, and the knowledge you gain when you research is very helpful. So I would recommend all of you here to try going up for a debate. It's a really nice experience, and I think all of you should try it out. Thank you.
I will also say a little about my experience with the debates. I think like I really outdid myself. With the short notice, like all my colleagues said, with 5 pages, I outdid myself. I really put myself to the test and work against the pressure. I came up with good points. I did good research with credible sources. That's one thing you need when you do a debate. You cannot have your own opinions or fallacies because you will be counted on that and you will lose. You will lose. So you have to have credible information. You have to be confident. You have to know what you're speaking about, even if you don't. Even if you only read the information once, or if you had short notice, you only went over the information a few times. You have to believe in yourself. You have to trust God. You have to believe that you can do it in order for you to do it. So that's my input on it. Thank you.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Darren Leslie, as you already know. This debate, we had a very short notice for this debate. We only had 1 week, so we only got the mote last week, Monday, and we only met maybe, I would say, about 3 times actually go through the debate and how the whole process was. Finding information on our part, the opposition's part specifically, it was very hard because it is very hard to find information on the disadvantages of AI, especially as it pertains to productivity. It's actually a lot easier to find information on the advantages. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, debaters, for shedding light on the process. So is there anyone in the audience who has something that they'd like to voice an opinion on? Anything they'd like to say? All right, you can come right up. Oh, 2, oh, 3, oh, 2, oh, wow, a lot of people, popcorn, all right. All right, go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Stevinia Jabaptist, a year 1 student at the Safa Lewis Community College. My question is for the opposition. With more recent advancements of AI, how do you see this as an issue evolving over the next 10 years? And what factors do you think will drive that change? Do you need me to repeat?
All right, repeat.
With more recent advancements to AI, how do you see this as an issue evolving over the next 10 years, and what factors do you think will drive that change?
Okay. So that's for the opposition?
Yes.
All right, and reminder, if there's anyone in the audience who would like to come up and answer, feel free to do so. All right, opposition?
Yeah, to answer your question, as we said in our debates, AI leads to a lack of creativity and innovation. So I believe that the development of AI over the next 10 years is probably we're probably going to see almost like a change. I would probably see like a change in our thinking and the way that we approach different problems. Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
I have more of an example because you said, how do we see, you mean like St. Lucia being the next 40 years, right?
Can you repeat that again?
Can you repeat your question so I can understand it properly?
All right. With more recent advancements to AI, how do you see this as an issue evolving over the next 10 years? And what factors do you think will drive that change?
We've already said it before, but the main issue would probably be people losing their jobs, because not everybody can do not technical subjects, but data analysis and IT, and it will be a problem because not everybody here has resources and money to go and study abroad to learn all of these things. So I think the way that the way we can help it in the future would probably be for companies to teach their employees that they displace to help them deal with these changes. So yeah, that's how I see it.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm a year one student at the South Louis Community College. My name is Pearl. My question is for the proposition. In the past, AI has been known to have problems the more things are required of it. So when more is required of it, it stops and then it's fixed. And this happens consistently. My question to you is, do you think there will ever come a point where it can't be fixed, and do we just stop using AI at that point, or will we figure out something else?
Wonderful question once again. You're provoking my thought process. So in the question you asked if AI will need to be, if we'll have to stop using it because of its inaccuracy. Is that what you're?
It's constant need for development and change.
I don't think so, because I remember in my point stating that okay. If I am a creator and I'm saying, okay, I'm going to create this program, remembering I'm not perfect and AI is not perfect, I am the creator, and the creation cannot outsmart me. It's my information and other information cited. So it can always be adjusted, it can always be bettered, so it will never come a point where it will, I would say, fail. I mean, of course it will be wrong. We're all wrong sometimes, but it will always need to be, updated, like you said, updated, and it will have new things coming, new knowledge is coming in, so it will be more updated each and every time. So sometimes we can't always depend on it. I will never tell someone to fully depend on AI 100%, because it is not the most credible thing in the world, but I don't think that it will crash or fail anytime soon, especially as the world is more technology-driven and AI-driven.
Just to add to what Phoebe said, I feel like that it's a good thing that it needs constant improvements, just like we also need constant improvements. Otherwise, things will just become stagnant. Do I believe that it will fail at some point? No. With constant research and the amount of time and energy put into researching AI, I don't think that will ever become a problem. Thank you.
I have another question for you guys.
Yes.
In terms of jobs and the increasing use of AI, there'll be an increasing number of jobs, but because everybody will eventually have to get a job AI-wise because of how it's developing, do you ever think it will come a point where there will not have any more job opportunities because everybody's working in AI and there's only so much that they can...
By not any more job opportunities. Do you mean specifically blue-collar jobs? Is that what you mean?
No, I mean in general, because yes, it does always need maintenance or stuff like that, but because of how advanced it become and how widespread it's becoming, and the number of people who are learning to use it and who will have to end up learning to use it in the future, like you said in one of your points, they can learn how they can develop their skills in AI. Do you think there will ever come a point where they won't have any more jobs in it?
Absolutely not. So I say this because remembering not everyone is into AI, not everyone is computerized. I get what you're saying, but remembering Ethan may be into farming and Ethan doesn't want anything to do with computers. So he will not be affected by that job loss because the world cannot only thrive on computer science people. I mean, it's becoming a big thing, but we still need lawyers, we still need blue-collar jobs, we still need plumbers, we still need a lot of other occupations for us, for the world to go around, for the cycle to continue. The AI field will be oversaturated, I believe, because a lot more people will want to enter. You'll have more opportunities, more money, and people love money. So it will be oversaturated. But will there come a point where there will be no more jobs? No, because things evolve every day. We come up with new ideas, we come up with new innovations. So each and every day, somebody will get a new job will arise. Sometimes it's something you never heard of before. So I do not think that jobs will run out. It will be oversaturated in some places, but jobs will not run out, no.
Okay, thank you. And you're welcome for provoking your thought process.
Just to also add on what to Phoebe said, I also don't think we'll run out of jobs because there are still a lot of jobs that require emotion, which AI lacks, and like emotional nuances, like she talked about lawyers. We could also talk about therapists, doctors, and stuff like that.
So glad to answer your question. I hope this answered your question.
For the preposition, one question. For example, if you go into a building or maybe a process, you'd get the machine welcoming you. Okay, good day, Mr. Francis, good day, whatever. Do you think it come a time where AI will be so sophisticated, right now it will try to do things adversely in terms of, instead of saying good morning, it would utter maybe obscene language to you or even turn against, turn against the creators or the purpose it was for. Do you think, because right now we have automated vehicles, we have science, we have space, meteorology, and all is good. But I'm just asking if with the thing of programming and let's say you have some things that actually maybe read your mind and stuff like that, do you think it'll come a time where these same machines or AI as a whole thing would be of that intelligence to challenge the purpose it was for, or even take, because we had a movie called either iRobots or something, so I want your take on that.
Okay, guys, this is my father. So I hope this explains a lot. I hope this explains a lot. And to answer your question, I don't think so, because remember, we are the creators of AI. We not saying things cannot go wrong, but I would say if things do go wrong, it's the cause of another human, let's say hackers, because if I didn't program the welcome machine to curse you, it will never curse you. So I think humans will be the problems, like the quote I said earlier. Clay is dirt in one hand, but clay can be art in another hand. So it's the yielder. So that's what I think. Will it ever turn against us? No. Like Unica said, it doesn't have a thought process. It has no emotion. It doesn't feel like, okay, this is right or this is wrong, unless I program it to believe this is right or this is wrong. Right, Daddy? Right? So that's my take on it. Unica, you have anything to say? Okay, so thank you for your questions. If there are any more, you can go ahead for the opposition.
Good afternoon. My name is Agona Machoko, and I wanted to ask a question for the preposition. So my question is, AI can't always be in the right hands. So what are the efforts being made to make sure that AI is able to be in the right place? Because according to my research, AI is a system that is not always safe. For example, facial recognition for women of colors can be less accurate, and thereafter it causes law enforcement problems.
Wonderful question. You're done? Sorry?
No, you can go in, sorry.
In my points, I spoke on this you also said. So it says there, AI does have negative aspects ranging from job loss, security issues, negative developments, but AI is also working to combat these things with cybersecurity, detecting threats in real time, and it improves who's laughing? And it improves efficiency by automating repetitive tasks. So I think I think in the cybersecurity thing, that's I guess I was just speaking about, it's growing, even if it's not perfect right now. They're trying to combat threats in real time with cybersecurity and hackers, and you said something about facial recognition with women of color.
Yes.
I believe that needs to be worked on for sure. I'm
Yes.
not sure of the stance that has been taken on it, or if any, I believe things are being done on it, but this is something I believe we do need to work on. But they are coming up with cybersecurity, detecting cybersecurity by detecting threats in real time.
Okay. Ma'am, I also have a question for the opposition, please.
Oh, wait a minute. She wanted to say something to you.
In my opinion, you have a good point about AI getting into the wrong hands. What I have to say to that is usually those people are people in power and people who are very wealthy. And aren't we screwed either way?
I feel like...
even without AI, would these people with power could use humans to do the same negative things? Yeah.
I also have a question for opposition, please. So also, I wanted to ask a question on how you talked about slow economic growth. The global AI market is valued over $196 billion mostly. So how does it prompt slow, economic growth if the process is introduced here?
Wow. Wow. Can you repeat the question?
Okay, so the global AI market is valued over $106 billion. So if this AI system were to be introduced here in St. Lucia, how would it prompt slow economic growth?
Darren, come here. No. Go ahead.
Repeat the second part, not sure. Repeat that slowly. He's South African, so his accent is a bit so slowly.
Okay, so how...
I understand him. It's just the level of the question you're asking me. I never thought of that before.
Oh.
so you're making my head think right now.
Wow.
My brain think.
Somebody wants to answer.
St. Lucia is already an underdeveloped country because of how far behind we are in terms of the economy and everything we use to function as a nation. Introducing AI, eventually the cost will die down, but because of how underdeveloped we are, the initial cost might set us back so far that it may be impossible to get back to where we need to be for AI to actually help us.
Okay, so I have a question to that.
Can I add to a point?
So,
Just to speak on, I just want to speak on the point that St. Lucia is not as underdeveloped as we believe it to be.
That is true.
Actually, that was brought up in one of my classes by one of my lecturer, and if I remember correctly, we're 60% in, I think, I might be wrong here, economy-wise, we're doing pretty well as a country.
I wanted to ask a question. You did say that in St. Lucia it's kind of underdeveloped. So don't you think exploring ourselves through the AI path will be able to enlarge in our taste and therefore prompt greater growth?
I think it was directed towards
I definitely think that. I'm actually on the side of the proposition, but I was answering from the side of the opposition. So in terms of that, yes, it will be able to advance. It will be able to help us in terms of development and reaching out to further countries. And St. Lucia, even now, has deals with Taiwan to help further us in terms of AI. So we're not as behind in terms of the cost, and all the training they're doing is also helping because we don't have to find people to help us with that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd just like to add something to the first point that she made about the initial cost of AI. In my speech, I spoke about the two main industries being in St. Lucia, agriculture and tourism. Any form of AI that we could purchase to be able to help us in any of these fields will be, since AI is not as developed that developed right now, any kind of cost will be like far beyond like the returns that we receive from any AI that we will purchase. It will take a long period of time. So maybe over a period of years, we'll be able to see returns in our economic growth after we've purchased AI of that caliber. But purchasing any kind of AI that's on that level will not be it will not be worth it in the short term. That's what I like to add. Yeah.
All right. Oh. Pardon? Oh, yes, you have a question?
No, I have a couple of points to be made because I do agree with something. So.
Points to make?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, go ahead. The judges are taking some time, as you can see. It's a very difficult decision. I bet they're going back and forth. I think they have to call an arbiter. It's very difficult. So, all right, let's continue. All right, so you have something to say? Is there anyone else who had a question after him? Okay, I want to take a secondary school student. Okay, you raise your hand first. You can go right after him. Okay.
Good afternoon. I'm Natalis Alfred from the Safford Lewis Community College. And first off, I would just like to say debating AI doesn't really make sense because debating AI is like debating, well, not debating, but it's like an unstoppable force versus an immobile object, and that really doesn't make sense because if you really look at it from both positive and negative, it really levels out on a field and stuff like that. And she said AI, just give me a second, please. She said that AI cannot outsmart people, and that's really not true because if you take out like information from like 100 people and place it into one body, it basically smarter than an average person. And y'all also said something about, she said something also about, she in the green shirt right there. She also said something about that a company can teach, like, you know, the field and stuff like that, like you can teach, but it's really cheaper to use AI because at the end of the day, I don't really have to pay them. All I have to do is just create it and program the system to do what it's supposed to do. Yeah.
Okay, good afternoon. Hello, Phoebe. I am in Form 4, and this is my question. I have a question for the proposition. Everything you said, for example, time efficiency and increased productivity, can be achieved without the use of AI specifically. So why AI as opposed to another form of technology?
This is my cousin. Moving on. When you say another form of technology, please expound.
Pardon?
You said another form of technology. Please expound on that.
For example, like search engines, like a general search, like Google or something else. So why specifically AI?
Would you not say AI has some involvement in Google, like a search engine?
Yes, I would agree.
So make your point for me again, please.
Okay, fair enough. another thing I wanted to say, and to make a point,
Mhm.
I was really hoping to hear you all expand on the argument that rather than diminishing creativity, AI enhances it. And I think that's a common misconception that the opposition made.
I really love that. I was cut short because I had 5 minutes. I had points on this, on creativity and innovation, but due to time and my lack of time management, I couldn't get to speak too much on that, but there are points about that, and I really love that you were looking forward to hearing that, and I really love the involvement. It's really inspiring. So I hope I answered your questions. If you want after, I can send it to you and show you, but I loved your questions, and I hope I answered them. Now, more questions for the opposition.
Yeah, I have a question for them too. Question for the opposition. You opposed AI without giving any proper alternative. So my question to you is, what is your alternative to AI?
Can you please elaborate, like, alternative to what exactly?
To using AI to further the economy. You opposed it without actually giving a proper alternative. You just said that it would demolish it instead of building it up. So what's your alternative?
Oh, well, I'll say a good alternative to AI will probably be to look into diverse forms of agriculture. Like I remember I mentioned CMOS farming and apiculture. So I'll say that that's probably a good alternative. Yeah.
You think that it will be on the same level? You think it will boost the economy on the same level as AI would?
Yeah, I'll say so. Another thing is also food processing as well. I think that it will be almost on the same level if we really focus on it, and the government like invested into it. I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. No problem.
Let her go. She's letting another school go. You coming here? You go after me.
Good afternoon. My question is for the proposition people. I wanted to ask, like, when you say the creation cannot be more intelligent than the creator, like how God created humans, we cannot like surpass him. But like artificial intelligence was created to not surpass humans, but they have their own intelligence, because like when you ask AI a question, it's obviously like you do not know the question yourself, so you would go and you ask them and they will not give you a simple answer. They will reach and they will go in depth to the question, like they will go and they will give you like sometimes way more than you ask about. They would go and like, I don't know how to say it, but like, yeah, most of the time they would be like, they would have more intelligence than humans at times because of, I wouldn't say the way they program it, but the way it was, well, yes, the way it was created was of its own mind and its different intelligence from human beings. So I just wanted to ask about that.
Okay, on the argument that AI can become more intelligent than humans, I think that's okay. Basically, you might see it on a one-person basis, like AI can be smarter than this one person, but I don't think, literally AI cannot surpass human intelligence because we are the ones who created it. So on a whole, it's literally impossible.
And to further add to what Unica is saying, I get what you're saying, that on I would say like AI, okay. You can say that AI is to help us. It's not there to belittle us or be better than us, so it's an aid. Though some people may have issues, that's why they go to AI. But remembering that we humans input the information. Sometimes it's not all in my brain. I took all the information from my brain. I took information from him, from her, from him, from him, from her, from him, from her. So it's a plethora of information put together. So I still wouldn't compare it to humans. I wouldn't say it's smarter. It has the information and it's generating to give it to us. So if we don't know something, it will help us. But remembering, we input that information. We made the process for it to answer us that type of way. It wouldn't come up with the answers without us putting it in or generating it to give us these types of answers. Do you understand what I'm saying? You sure? Wait, sorry. He, at the back, he had his hand up for a very long time. Sorry, but please go ahead.
It's not, what I'm about to say isn't a question, but more a statement.
Okay.
I believe that in this discussion, we're kind of forgetting the power of the human intellect and how far that has taken us through history already. Like the invention of the wheel, the discovery of fire, AI, while I wouldn't, well, okay, maybe going forward, AI will, and well, it will dictate our lives, and a lot of what we do will be predicated on AI. I still believe that it will never dominate us. And when it comes to things like agriculture and maybe fishing, AI will help in the process, but it will never take, if anything, it would make the entire process, I guess, a bit more efficient and more practical. AI paired with the human intellect can bring about a lot of great things, and a lot of great things that we haven't discovered or even made yet. There may be an invention that, while may not be the same with AI in terms of intelligence, it will give us more benefits. AI also has, a cousin, if you want, called AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence. That is something that we have not tapped into yet, and that's something that we will probably tap into maybe next 10 years. Now, AGI is something that we will probably really need to be scared for, since it really would tap into, I guess, something similar to the human mind. But if it is controlled and if it is, I guess, quelled in the right way, for us, the idea of we'll be taken over and something like the Terminator happening, it will not occur. It cannot occur, just because of the human mind itself.
Okay, I agree with your points. Only thing I want to add to what you said is that I don't think we're undermining or forgetting how far we have come as humans, because like the point of the debate is to more argue whether AI is boosting productivity and not necessarily if it's better than humans. Yeah.
Well, that is true. That is true.
Hello, my name is Perry Marshall Gustam. I'm from the current secondary school I'm in, and I'm in Form 3. And I don't have a question. I more have something to say. That I wanted to add on what the other children said, which was, I wanted to add on a little bit of what the other children said, which was about if you have clay in the wrong hands, it will make mud, and it will make art in the right hands, because some students actually use AI for good reasons. Not everyone knows everything, and we need help sometimes. And I wanted to say that on the good side of using AI with students is that when the child they ask the question that the teacher gave the example on, and then they ask AI the question, and then when the AI gives them the answer, they read through it, they make it into their own thing, and they don't copy exactly what AI gave them. So it's not exactly copying, but it's giving a little help. And if it's on the bad side of using AI as a student, which is the student just answers the question and then just copies everything, that's when maybe if the teacher calls you up and asks you where you get your answer from and to explain your answer, you wouldn't know because you didn't read through anything. You just got your answer from AI, and that's one of the bad ways of using AI. But when you use it in a good way, then when the teacher does call on you, you can give all of your points and you can explain it well.
I really love that point, and you made a very, very good point. I also wish I had more time because I had a little anecdote inside of there where I was speaking about one time in math class, it was recent, and for the life of me, I just couldn't grasp the concept. And I went on AI because early on TikTok I saw something, and I asked, can I have a 2% dialogue explaining this specific topic in Gerber Foods, or, in a way that is structured but detailed enough for me to understand? And it helped me. It didn't just give me the answer and I drank it not knowing what it's saying. It actually helped me. I understood the concept. When I'm in class, I can answer the questions, I can do the work, I can do what it takes. So it has good benefits. It's all how you handle it. So I really, really love that point.
Thank you.
Adding on to what both of you said, actually, adding to what both of them said, yes, some students actually do use AI for good. For example, last semester I was struggling with specific type of math, and without ChatGPT actually explaining, I asked ChatGPT to explain the concepts instead of just asking it to do my work, I would have been cooked. Yeah, also please guys, keep the discussions and questions like a little shorter.
Okay, my name is Jada Esteva. I'm a Form 5 student at Leon Hess. And I just wanted to ask a general question for any of you. Pertaining to AI, do you think that people, more or less the older people, are more opposed to the idea of AI, whereas you have the younger people more pushing for it to, be introduced into our daily lives and things like that? Because I know most people are already set in their ways, and that's fine, because sometimes doing things the traditional way is better than finding new sources. But at the same time, being introduced to new concepts is not entirely a bad thing.
I don't think that this is a problem confined to AI. Given like generations, each new ideas, that's the older generations have a problem with that, and that goes into one of the quotes Phoebe said. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
My name is Alil Cyril. I go to Leones. I'm a Form 3 student, and I have a question for the opposition. In times like COVID, if we did not have AI and the programs like Google Classroom and Google Meet, how would we have gone about doing work and school?
Yeah, to answer your question, I'll probably say that the teacher could probably just email the work to the students.
Still AI.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Huh? Oh. Well, yeah, I'm not too sure how to answer your question, to be honest. I'm going to be honest. Yeah.
I'm not too sure whether it will answer your question, but I have given a little bit of thought to the idea of AI, productivity, and competitiveness. I don't agree entirely with the moot, in that I don't think that AI is necessarily essential for productivity and competitiveness, which is probably what you would have seen during the COVID-19 pandemic, when persons would have pivoted to the use of online platforms for education. I think rather it might be more sufficient to say that innovation is what is essential for productivity and competitiveness. And I think right now AI is just an example of that innovation. Hundreds of years ago, the Industrial Revolution would have been an example of innovation then, and the use of machinery, etc. When you look at see the period of Enlightenment, where persons were just now moving away from religious ideologies, etc., to address the problems and situations that they were facing in their society. That would have been the innovation applicable then. So right now I think, I don't know if it really relates to your question or answers your question. How did we do it? Innovation. I think at the crux of the matter is that without innovation, there will be stagnation and even retardation at that point. So it is important for us as a society to, instead of, attacking AI, what can kill, what cannot kill, what will make your car go off the road, that kind of thing, we need to look at innovate it as not as AI per se, but as a part of innovation, how we as a society move and develop as time goes on, right?
One more question for the opposition. We have adapted to many situations throughout this world. So don't you think adapting to AI wouldn't be a problem?
Okay, so in the interest of time, all right, what I think we're going to do, the persons who have their contributions, give it, direct it to whoever you need to direct it to, but make it brief, just so that we're able to move on with the program, all right? So.
Can you repeat your question again one more time?
All right, adapting to AI later on, would that be a problem? Since we could have adapted to the many situations
Okay,
in the
I
past.
don't think adapting to AI is a problem. We can adapt to AI, that's for sure. But the problem is just if we become, I would say, over dependent on it. But I don't think we will ever have a problem with adapting to anything. We've always been able to adapt to issues we've had, like COVID is one. So there wouldn't be any problem in adapting. It's just that we don't want people to get over dependent on AI. That's just it.
I have a question for the opposition. So you guys had given the example of South Korea and how now it is so advanced, but wouldn't that be due to some form of AI, and isn't that essential in a boost in economic growth?
Okay, so no, it wouldn't, because how South Korea became the South Korea we know today was because they invested in their human capital. Back in 1950s, after the North Korean and South Korean War, their land wasn't fertile. They had no natural resources. Their people were poor. The country was poor. So the one thing that they did have was human capital. So they worked on educating their people, and slowly they got more, not civilized, but the economic growth, it got higher and higher. And so I wouldn't say now that it's because of AI. I would say that they're probably leading AI a bit because of the fact that they own Samsung and all of these companies. So I wouldn't say it's not because of AI. It's because they invested in their human capital that they're how they are today.
Thank you.
Okay, so in healthcare, a lot of the AI developed in healthcare is usually created by teams which aren't very ethnically diverse. So do you think it's ethical to use AI in healthcare, knowing it has an ethnic and racial bias for the proposition?
No, I don't think it's ethical, but even if I think that AI boosts efficiency, doesn't mean it's going to do that in every sector. Or at least not in the traditional sense, maybe like implementing other health things that doesn't include interacting with the patients.
So I think based on the discussion that was had, I think we can agree that whether AI is dangerous or how it can contribute to productivity and competitiveness in our economies, whether it be here in St. Lucia, in the Caribbean, or globally, is a topic that we can continue to debate. But time is time, and time is upon us, and so I'm going to try to move the program along as quickly as I can. Now, once again, thank you for your contributors, debaters. Thank you for answering the various questions. At this point in time, I would like to announce the announcement that results are in. But before I deliver results for the debate, I would like to invite any one of the judges, Mr. Omar Kombi has been identified, to just give some brief remarks on what they would have noticed with the presentations before we give. I hear breaths being taken, but people, it is important. It is extremely important. So can we clap? Welcome Mr. Kombi on as he gives his remarks.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I am grateful that I'm not the one announcing the results. So just a few things that we, the judges, recognized. One, we just ask that you once again give a round of applause to our debaters. Because as we know, public speaking is the #1 fear in the world. More than snakes, more than skydiving, if you have to put people in front of an audience, they can very easily break out into tears. So just being up here is impressive and is something that needs to be nurtured and continue to be supported. On the positive side, we realized that both sides did a good job of pointing to certain sectors within our industry, within our country, so tourism, agriculture, etc. We also noted that the point about not overly relying on AI and the importance of human development is also a key factor, because as we know, productivity cannot be achieved in many forms, not just technological, and especially in our tourism sector and our other service industries, most times the complaints are not about what the tech is doing, but what the people are doing. So that was something to keep in mind. We also acknowledged that the debaters had very little time in terms of the 7 minutes, 5 minute, 3 minute format. When discussing a topic thoroughly in debate, you need the time to really break down and go through a topic. So we applaud them for being able to speak to as much as they could given the limited time. We do also acknowledge areas of improvement where a bit more consistency with argument. We noticed that although the debaters made some valid points, these points ended up being undercut by something they said later on in their arguments. Also, there were several points that were not explained as fully as they could and therefore didn't have the desired impact. But once again, we thank our debaters. We thank all of you for being here to support them. And I'll leave it to the person who has to do the dreadful result.
So before y'all play as though it's me all coming and kill, let me just remind y'all that much like you, I am quite excited for the results. So I'll try to get through it as quickly as I can. But once again, I think all the debaters deserve a round of applause for their efforts today. All right. That being said, I have the pleasure of announcing the results for this afternoon. So there are 3 categories for awards: Best Speaker, the winner, and then second place winner. As I call the awards, I will call on various people to give, and you will call them, well, debaters will come up to receive respectfully. All right? So I believe the first award that I will announce, and I will call on our principal, Dr. Jameson Charles, to give out this award for Best Speaker. And I think that we can all agree that this person brought to the fore throughout the debate and the discussion relevant points that I think gave everybody something to think about. All right? So, with 238 points, amassing this throughout the presentation, I would like to announce that the best speaker in this debate was Ms. Phoebe Popo. Do you all want to go to the front or in front of them? Okay. Smile, big smiles. I feel like she deserved a bigger round of applause than that, Alrighty. Now, sometimes this does happen. The debate, I will say, was fairly close. There was only a difference of 15 points. There are more than 15 people in this room. I can count more than 15. 15 seconds is not that much time. And in this case, it's not that many points. It's not that big of a difference. But in second place, having amassed 546 points, having amassed 546 points is the proposition. And so, our winner is the opposition team, having amassed 561 points, only a difference of 15. Okay, so in this instance, I will ask for the proposition to come up first, and then we will award our winners. All right? Or winners first. Which one do you all prefer? Okay, so proposition? And we will have our director of the NCPC to deliver, well, give them the awards. And now our opposition members. Chairman, are you willing to give out the awards? On cue. But once again, we do congratulate all the debaters. They did put up a great effort today, and they presented some fairly good arguments. At this point, though, I do think that there are some tokens of appreciation for the judges. And so, VP Academics, Dr. Winston Fulgence, is it okay if I call on you to just present them the award? And people, mind you, it's not an easy job being a judge. These people have to sit down, and like I was saying, it's a difference of 15 points. So they have to really sit down and say, this point was deserved, undeserved, and go through that deliberation process. So we are extremely grateful for them. Ms. Dillis? Miss Emmanuel? And Mr. Combi, finally. One more time for our judges, people. At this point, I would like to quickly call on the director of the NCPC, Mrs. Montoute, who will just give you an idea of the prizes our participants would have received today. So, Mrs. Montoute. People, y'all cannot clap.
Okay, so thanks to the presenters for what was a very thought-provoking debate. I know that you put a lot of time and effort into researching and debating this important topic on whether or not it is indispensable in optimizing productivity and competitiveness in St. Lucia. Given our last-minute request, we are hoping that you'll enjoy the prizes as much as we were thrilled putting them together. And so, for the first prize, quite apart from the trophies that was sponsored by the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project, the first prize winners each receives a Samsung Galaxy tablet from sponsored by Construction and Industrial Equipment as well. They each receive, the first prize winners, they each receive a voucher worth $150 each from Capital Financial Services Incorporated. For the second place winners, each of them receive a Samsung Galaxy A15 cell phone, and the best speaker receives a whale and dolphin watching tour sponsored by Mystic Man Tours. So we hope that you will enjoy this exercise. Yes, this activity. And all of the debate participants will each receive Galaxy earbuds as well as various paraphernalia from the NCPC. Okay, so for the first place winners, we would like you to remain behind so we could write your name on the vouchers. Okay, so thanks. So I thank you again for your participation, and we look forward to future collaborations on activities like this in the future. Again, thank you. Okay.
At this point, I'd like to call on Ms. Shama Mathra, who will just give a general thank you to the various sponsors of the, may I say, incredible prizes. So, Ms. Mathra, and can we welcome her and she comes on, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. Students, lecturers, and other specially invited guests. I would like to adopt the protocol already established by the speakers who addressed you earlier. My name is Shama Mathre, and I would prefer to be called a productivity ambassador, and I'm preempting that because it's something that we would like to continue at the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council. This is where I work, and I'm hoping that we can, in the future, have productivity ambassadors go to the Sir Ira Simmons Secondary School, the Coram Secondary, Leon Hare, Sir Arthur Lewis Community College to embrace our students, embrace the future of St. Lucia, or encourage them to embrace a mindset that continually strives for excellence. And I think we have a very good example of a productive and competitive citizen. And we all know this is Julian Alfred. She has really broken the barriers of where she came from and the resources that she has to really go out there and put her name out there, and at the same time promoting St. Lucia, and I think this augurs well for St. Lucia, being that tourism is our main economic earner. So, you know, it is always important for us all to be productive. It not only benefits the country, but it benefits you as an individual, and there is a benefit to all of us being productive. And I go back to Julian Alfred because some persons argue that when you're productive and competitive, how does that come back to you as a citizen? But we have seen that the government and the private sector, they've all been forced to support her, and not only her, to support youth and sports development in St. Lucia. And so I have a lot to say about productivity and competitiveness, but I will stop here. This event, which forms part of Productivity Awareness Week 2024, would not have been possible without the generous support of our business sponsors. And so a sincere thank you to the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project for its sponsorship and commitment to fostering digital skills in our workforce. We offer sincere appreciation to Ms. Sherilyn Monrose Gustav and her team. Construction and Industrial Equipment Limited, thank you to Mr. Reno Kajada for his continued support to the NCPC. Mr. Kajada was the first chairman of our board, and he still continues to support our work. Special mention to his team member, Mr. Bradley Winters, for his prompt action in delivering the prizes. Capital Financial Services, Inc., a special thank you to Mr. Jermaine Hunt for his swift action in supporting our prizes. A special mention must be made to Mr. Alistair Daniel for ensuring that all was in place in securing the prizes. Mystic Mentors for their generous contributions. Thank you to Mr. Wendell Richards for your support in agreeing to sponsor the prizes. Additionally, we acknowledge the efforts of Blue Waters in sponsoring our events. We are grateful for your contribution again. Thank you to all the contributors of this event. Thank you to the debaters who volunteer. And thank you, and do have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Ms. Mathre. I think it is extremely important that we thank everybody who made this debate possible today. At this point, I'd like to call on Ms. Natalie Jolie Fannis for just a short vote of thanks to everyone who made this debate possible. So, Mrs. Fannis.
Good afternoon, everybody. I know that's a lot of thank yous, but there are a lot of entities involved. And I was thinking that was enough, but I think it's important as an entity collaborating that we should also give thanks. So first, let me congratulate the National Competitive and Productivity Council for a successful week of activities in 2024. A round of applause to them. And we are also grateful for the collaboration, and we want to thank the director, Mrs. Lisa Flora Montoute, for her leadership in that. The incentives were phenomenal, yeah? And I am sure there are many more people now who want to participate in debates, right? Right, guys? Yeah? Okay, if that's the case, then maybe I can just take what was given to you. That's fine. You're going to donate it? No? Okay, all right. Just checking. Yes, great incentives for what we want to encourage in our young people, the critical thinking, the research, etc. So we also want to thank the planning committee led by Glenn Simon, who does not give up, for his perseverance, persistence in ensuring that this happens no matter what. So we thank you for your organization and technical support. Beautiful decor, lovely organization. We're really grateful for that. The sponsors have been thanked, so I will leave that alone. But I want to give thanks to the secondary schools who took the time to come out here, the Leon Hess Comprehensive and the Corinth Secondary School. Thank you to the teachers for making this important to the students, a priority for the students. So we thank you for your attendance here. We also want to thank the principal, the board, managers for their usual support in facilitating all of the events that we put on. We were also supported by the Ministry of Education in the person of Mrs. Jennifer, I don't want to get your last name wrong, Glenn, help me. Raphael, that's right, for her contribution, for writing to the schools to ensure that they are here. I really want you to applaud our senior debaters who were probably itching to be part of this debate, but who we made MC and moderator this afternoon, Ms. Shine Savory and Ms. Shade Gustav. I think they did a phenomenal job, great exhibition of the skills that they possess here, and I'm very proud that I can pass on the baton to these ladies in the near future. And of course, a round of applause to our debaters who committed to this. As soon as I told them the topic, they were excited about the topic of AI. They did have a short time to prepare. Usually, we hone their skills to a T, but even if we knew about it early, we only just got back to school. So the kind of time they would have taken in practicing, they didn't have that, but they did dedicate time to research, and I really want you to applaud them for this final time. For their participation. Again, for your time here this afternoon and your interest, we value it and we wish you a good day. Thank you. I can announce that there are refreshments outside. Sorry to those of you online who can't join us. And the media, of course, NTN and Glenn and his crew, we are always eternally grateful to you. Thank you, Chair.